Live from our Jackson studio. Live from the Midtown Jackson studio and live from well into Deep 13. This is Lasco Cafe on Spreaker with the animalistic Jay the Brain Man, the animalistic Matthew the Wizard Nichols, and the pause for consideration, Steve the Baxman Baxley. I'm Franklin Pangborn, your announcer, with Morgul as the friendly drone. Let's go to the cafe and find out what's going on and join the guys on a whole crowd. It's Lasco Cafe on Spreaker. Welcome one and all to the Corsican Ball. This is Last Call Cafe on Spreaker. And I am Steve the Baxman Baxley. It is a pleasure and honor to be here, ladies and gentlemen, as we continue the tradition of turning your mind into a little bit of Jell-O pudding, ladies and gentlemen, with little weirdness, little wackiness. And ladies and gentlemen, I introduce not only myself, but my compadres in action. He is the gamer's best friend, the commandant of the gamer world. Ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the legend, Matthew, the Wizard Nichols.
Sup, gamers of all ages, gender, and etc.
Praise be the power of the gamer. And also, ladies and gentlemen, let us not forget, if it was not for this gentleman, we would all not be here because he was anointed the name, and he is keeping the name. Ladies and gentlemen, the host of Jay the Brain Man presents WrestleMania Hut Saturdays on Spreaker with him and Steve the Baxman Baxley, whoever he is. Ladies and gentlemen, Betty White's favorite chew toy. I give you the man, the myth, the legend, and the cocktail sauce. The one, the only, did I forget to mention, the host of WrestleMania Hut, starring everybody else? The one, the only!
And third time's the charm.
That's it. Okay, folks, before we go to our Gamer News segment with Matthew, we have a little bit of breaking news to give you. And that is that sexual abuse allegations have rocked the pro wrestling world. Wrestlers from Jimmy Havoc to Joey Ryan have been accused of very nasty, very naughty, and NSFW things. We got the twits. We got the tweets and all the stories. We can't have them here due to our time constraint, but we will have them condensed and live on WrestleMania Hut tomorrow night right here on Spreaker. But for right now, yes, sir.
For clarity's sake, this is the third time we've recorded this episode. Because the last two times, my laptop acted up. First time it froze. Third time, it started acting like it had a lot of memory issues for some reason. So So when I open up Chrome next time, it's probably not even going to keep my tabs. So that's cool. So that's why we're not doing. That's why we're not doing the stories tonight. We're gonna do them tomorrow, and hopefully it doesn't fuck up too much.
Okay, so join us tomorrow on WrestleAnime Hut. We'll get you all the stories and all the official words from the various wrestling promotions that employ them. That's tomorrow night right here on Spreaker. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Pangborn, if you will take the microphone, the audience awaits to hear you introduce someone very special to all of us. Do your duty. Thank you, Stephen, and good evening, everybody. Now it's time for Gamer News with the men that all the gamers worship. Ladies and gentlemen, Matthew, the Wizard Nichols.
Thank you, Pangborn. Okay, this week on Gamer News, EA had their EA Play yesterday, and we got a few game announcements. One of them is Apex Legends is coming to Nintendo Switch and Steam and adding crossplay support, so Apex Legends of all platforms can play together. Also, EA is bringing The Sims 4, Titanfall 2, Dead Space 3, and A Way Out to Steam. A new hero shooter called Rocket Arena was announced, and it's coming July 14 for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. We got gameplay of the upcoming Star Wars Squadrons, which releases on October 2nd for PS4, Xbox One, and PC, and also be entirely playable in VR. And the Skate franchise is being reborn, if you all remember EA's skateboarding franchise. And also, Cyberpunk 2077 got delayed again to November, and it might actually be a possible launch title for the PlayStation 5 and Series X, maybe. And
That's a lot of crunch. If you don't know why that's funny, look it up. Continue on.
Yeah, also in the EA Play, we got showcase some of the upcoming sports titles like Madden and FIFA, and by the way, the FIFA title for the Nintendo result is going to be once again a Legacy Edition. What a surprise. And also, new Crash Bandicoot game has been leaked. Crash Bandicoot. Call it Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time. Yep. We're getting a new Crash Bandicoot game.
Yay.
It's like the sales of the trilogy paid off. And that's it for this week's Gamer News. I'm currently watching Cheese stream of Portal 2, and I'm also chilling at Fauna's Place in Animal Crossing New Horizons.
You've been listening to Gamer News with Matthew the Wizard Nichols. I'm Franklin Pangborn. Okay, thank you, Pangs, and welcome back to the broadcast. The Brain, the Wizard, the Baxman. Everything else is repetitive. Here it's time for a little weird news. The Bears are back. That's right. The Wallaby Holland theme park in the Netherlands put its oversized fluffy teddy bears on the super swing ride and filmed the adorable action. The same bears went viral last month when they took over the park's Untamed roller coaster. Like many theme parks around the world, Wallaby Holland was shut down to help stop the spread of the coronavirus. It's reopened now, but with limitations on capacity to continue the fight against the infections. The rules do not apply to teddy bears. And they give you the
little old verbiages there. So let's get to our next story. The disoriented cougar, well, let's try it this way. A young mountain lion, thank you, boys. Want to get me on speed here? Thank you. A young mountain lion that had been spotted sleeping, thank you, in a planter box along a normally busy street and looking at his reflection in the glass of an office tower in downtown San Francisco, was safely captured Thursday and released into the wild, officials say. The disoriented cougar roamed the streets for 2 days until he was spotted by a police officer near Oracle Park, home of the San Fran Giants, said Officer Adam Lobzinger, a police spokesman. Officers set up a perimeter and waited for animal control officials to arrive. They safely captured the 50-pound cat in an apartment building's green area with lots of shrubbery. The Knights Who Say Knee wished that. Without the use of sedatives, animal care and control spokeswoman Deb Campbell said, in 24 hours it only moved a few blocks. The poor guy really needed some help. Campbell said officials get reports of cougars in San Fran about once a year. The animals come up along the Pacific coast from the hills of the south of the city, but eventually find their way back to the wilderness. We never had a mountain lion right in the middle of downtown San Francisco, Campbell said. Officials have been eyeing his movement since Tuesday when a motorist first reported seeing it in Russian Hill, a neighborhood known for the famously crooked Lombard Street. Hours later, surveillance cameras recorded it crossing the park of a television station in the Embarcadillo. Soon after, it was spotted again in an area of gleaming office towers. Officials worried the animal wouldn't find its way south and asked residents in the area to send in any photos or video of the cat so they can monitor its movements. Photos and video images show it crossing streets, walking amongst apartment buildings and office towers. It was looking in windows, looking at his reflection or something. Maybe he thought it was his mom or brother or sister. Police sent out a tweet urging people to stay vigilant. It is likely the mountain lion is confused and lost and will soon find its way south and out of the city, police officials said in a tweet Wednesday. If approached by the mountain lion, make yourself appear big and shout. That sounds like so Marlon Perkins. While Jim decides to circumcise a sleeping rhino in heat, I'll be here in my tent with Mahalo, drinking a martini and talking about Mutual of Omaha life insurance. By the way, mountain lions leave their families after they are 2 years old, but this lion is under that age, and it's unclear what led him to leave its family. Insert your own joke here. I'm not even going to try it. The big cat was examined at the Oakland Zoo before California Fish and Wildlife officers released it at a wilderness preserve. Ooh, yes, yes, people. Ah, yes, a mountain lion caught in downtown. No comment. And the former manager of the DoD Aerospace Threat Program, I think we read this sometime, but we don't need to read that now. So that, ladies and gentlemen, for want of a better word, is it for Weird News. Man, light Weird News Day, wasn't it, Dave? Yes, it was. Do we have anything interesting from our friends at Sky that's weird and unnatural? Oh, yeah, we do. And let's just accept this. Yeah, let's try this, shall we? Okay. And of course, this does come from Sky News. An ape, a huge ape, a 34-year-old gorilla, has undergone a medical procedure usually reserved for humans after unusual growths were found in its nose. Makoku, a male western lowland gorilla from Johannesburg Zoo in South Africa, was airlifted for more than 40 miles to the Anderspoort Veterinary Academic Hospital in Pretoria. The facility's computed tomography scanner is strong enough to cope with the huge ape's 210-kilogram bulk. 33 stone if you're in London. It took more than 5 people to lift the sedated Makoko, who turns 35 next month, off the stretcher after the scan, and he was closely monitored. Zoo staff, who first became concerned for his health in May, decided he needed a scan after extensive tests revealed the primate had polyps in his nasal passage. Medics believe these are responsible for chronic nasal discharge, which has not been responding positively to routine medical treatment. Johannesburg City Parks and Zoo spokesperson Jenny Moodley said, during this procedure, it was discovered that Makoko had a nasal growth which had been causing his symptoms. A biopsy of this was taken and sent for histopathology. The results revealed that he has chronic rhinitis with inflammatory polyps developing in his nasal passages. Also, he suffered from the boogie woogie blue. The well-being and care of the animal, who will celebrate his 35th birthday on July 9th, remains of paramount importance for all staff at the Joburg Zoo. The only way to see how bad the lesions are is using the CT scan. How about that? They had to use something that normal humans would use. And our last weird news story. You remember many moons ago, a Australian group, Men at Work, sang a song about living in the land down under and having a Marmite sandwich. Well, we have news about Marmite. When it comes to this news, you either love it or hate it. There's a shortage of the interesting Australian product. The economic fallout from the coronavirus has spread to the controversial breakfast staple, with Marmite's manufacturer announcing that it can no longer produce large jars of the brown, sticky paste. That's because Marmite is made from yeast extract, a crucial ingredient that's a byproduct of beer brewing. And with brewers slowly or stalling production after pubs and restaurants were forced to close in March, it is now in short supply. The jarring news was unearthed by a Marmite devotee on Twitter who tweeted the brand to ask why they were struggling to track down 400-gram squeezy packs of the spread. Explaining that brewer's yeast was in short supply, the company confirmed that stock levels were being affected, adding, as a temporary measure, we have stopped production of all sizes apart from our 250-gram size jar, which is available in most major retailers. Some anti-Marmite Twitter users were raising a toast after
Gee, I guess Skype likes Marmite. Just wow.
I'd love to.
You got cut off there for a bit. I want to repeat the last 30 seconds that you just said?
Yes. Let me get to the story here and get the last 30 seconds. Last 30 seconds of sanity. Okay, some anti-Marmite Twitter users were raising a toast after hearing about the sticky situation. One wrote, "Let's cancel Marmite. Horrible stuff." Frankly, I wouldn't know. I've been wanting to try it, or at least gamble on it. I mean, my gosh. What's so good about it that they had a song about it from a group called Men at Work? You know, I try anything weird. Ketchup on pizza.
Speaking of pizza, I had Papa John's.
Okay. One more before we go our merry way, and then I got a little something to say. Scared half of us today. A pigeon suspected of being trained to spy by Pakistan has been captured in India along one of the world's most contested borders, Indian officials say. They said the bird was carrying a coded message and was caught by villagers in Manyari along the border which separates Indian and Pakistan-controlled parts of Kashmir. Security agencies are trying to decipher the message, the official told Indian news agency PTI, not to be confused with, pardon the interruption. Kathua Police's senior superintendent said the villagers gave the pigeon to police on Sunday after it flew into a woman's house from Pakistan. He said, a ring was seen attached to one of its legs with some numbers on it, and a probe is on. We can't say it was used for spying. Locals seen a tag tied with its leg caught the pigeon. Was one of those locals Dick Dastardly? Some call it... Thank you very much. Some called it a coded message. In Pakistan's Punjab, people tie number tags on pigeons to claim ownership. That's your weird news for this week. And we'll have more weirdness next week. Thank you to Sky News and HuffPost for providing us with the warmth. Okay. Let's see. It's time is relative when you're doing a podcast.
Yeah, and it better not freaking crash again, or otherwise I'm going to be pissed.
Okay, so hopefully it all worked.
We'll find out.
Yes, indeed. How many have we? How many momentations have we done so far? This will be interesting.
We're just about to hit 22 minutes.
Okay, this hour has 22 minutes. I love that show. Okay, let's. Today, while we were over at the other abode, everything was normal. Cats were watching from another door. A couple of cats we witnessed were doing the National Geographic, brother and sister. That's right. We saw a brother and sister of the feline transfusion.
Stop.
You know it.
Stop. Stop. People listen to this.
Well, it's mostly me listening to it.
Like I said, people listen to this.
You had to be there, folks. There was a cigarette involved. That's all I'll say. Anyway.
You're lucky that I don't edit this.
Yeah, that's true. Everybody's lucky. I do pre-edit my own self, so...
If I did edit it, I would cut all of you out for this episode.
Including me.
No, just Steve. I would cut Steve out.
Well, thanks a lot. Anyway, and with that, we say adieu to another spine-tingling edition of the Last Call Cafe with the Baxman, the Brain, the Wizard, the Brain, the Baxman, however you want to say it. We will be back next week, same time, same place, hopefully somewhat in the normal sense of the word, and I dare anyone to define the word normal. So for the Brain, the Wizard, I am the Baxman. We will see you all next week right here. Actually, we'll hear you all next week right here on Spreaker and other platforms. Until then, we'll see you Saturday night for a very interesting Wrestle Anime Hut, to be sure. So that's it. Good night.